Morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're hearing me from. I'm back again with yet another tutorial, but this time around we'll be designing a church flyer from scratch. So this is what we were going to be working on today, and so as not to waste our time, so we're going to start. But I also don't want to have a very long video, so I'm going to keep the video as short as possible, within say 15 to 20 minutes, so that we can all learn together. So the first thing we're going to do now is to create a new document. So you go to your file, new, or you just do well to press Ctrl N, so it will bring out the new document for you. And the next thing to do is just look for the 1080 by 9020, which is the standard Instagram portrait. Is that? Excuse me about that. So you use 1080 by 1350. I'm sorry. So the 1080 by 1350 is the Instagram portrait. That is 1080 pixel by 1350 pixel. So then you create it and you have this. Then I already put the file for the design inside a single document. So this is the document that we're going to be using today. So the first thing that we're going to bring in is, I've helped with the naming of the background. So if you want to follow along, just check the description link. So I will upload it there. So now the first thing is we are going to bring in our background one. So to bring in our background, all we have to do is just click and drag into Photoshop. So and we increase the size of the background. So like so. So we increase the size. So then we press enter. So that is the first thing we are going to do. Then the next thing will be to bring in the background too, and this is where it all starts. So bringing in the background too, we place it, we make sure that the size is also as big as this, and we change the blend mode to subtract. So here is the blend mode, you change it to subtract, and there you go. So then I can use my curves. I Ctrl M, which will give me my curve, or I go to this place and I click on curves. Then I can use the curve to reduce it a bit. So that's the next stage. Then after that, I bring in my third background, which is BGT3. So bring it in. So this is just an Instagram screenshot of a post I saw, and I like the background. So from this you can see that it's actually an Instagram post. So then you change the blend mode to lighting. So this is where everything starts. So then we can clean the Instagram parts that we don't want, because it will show when we have our final design. So from there, the next move is to go to our background 4. So we bring in our background 4. So we increase the size also, and we change it to lighting also. See that everything is already coming together. So everything is already coming together to look this way. Now this is more of photo manipulation, if I would say. So it's more like photo manipulation, and if you want to use blend mode, so it's more of try and error and seeing which one works. And also when you want to create your background, this is just a tip for when you want to create your background, look for backgrounds of similar colors. If you see all my backgrounds that I've used here, it's more leaning towards the yellowish part. The only one that is distinct is this background too, and it was just to create a darker tone. That was why subtract was used. So subtract will help you remove light from your design and add darkness to it. So that was why we had this. But to make your background creation easier, so that's what I always advise, you go for same color range. So after that, we brought in our fifth background, so like so. Then we increase the size of the fifth background. So this is the image of just an AI generated image of Moses carrying the 10 commandments. this was actually the original concept I wanted to go for, because it's the status of the law. It's the status of the law that the commandments of the law, Lord, that the laws. So this was the actually what I wanted to use, but when I said try and error, so while trying it, I just tried with overlay, so, and it gave me this. I think I like it. So what I now did is to create a layer mask and to use my brush to clean the part where we have Moses. So you see that it's better this way. So the overall experience is just that the idea is we are trying to tell a story and also still trying to not overwhelm the old design. Then the last background was actually this, which is the BG6, and it was brought in, and it was a screen that was used, screen blend mode. So here we have it. So you see that most of the time it's more of try and error. Just try out the different background, see which one works, see which one does not work for you. So we can actually just erase a bit of this, the lower part, because that's where something else is still coming there, and we can also just leave it a bit. So after that, the next thing that was brought in was the rock. So because from the image that we are using here, see that there was a rock here, so it's more like the what they call it, the tablet was carved out from the rock. And when I was doing the design, the color of the rock was totally different from the color of the tablet. So the rock was gotten literally from Pinterest. Also, the color of the rock was different from the color of the tablets, and this is it. So using selection, our selection, quick selection, so select subject. So using our select subject, we just select randomly, then I use my selection to also make the other selections. So I think we are good. Then I apply my layer mask, and it help me to eliminate. So some of these things are not always very neat. You can use your lasso tool or your pencil to go through those sides and just eliminate all these rocks. You can eliminate these ones, so that way, so you can delete it, and you can also go through it with your lasso tool just to remove these ones likewise. So we can remove these ones likewise also, so that we don't have too much going on the design. So I can just go through this rough. The reason why I'm going through a rough selection is because it's a rock, so there's really nothing there. So there we have it. That's the rock selection. Then the next thing we brought in was our 10 commandments. Now this is the original picture of the 10 commandments of the tablets. This is the original picture, just to reduce the effort of actually going through the selection one by one, because you have to trace through the selection one by one. So I've already made the selection already in PNG for you, so you can just bring it in easily. And then I have this. So now looking at this, you see that the color, and one principle that you need to learn is that always make sure that your color, like the color of your designs, are always uniform. Now if you see the color of this rock and the color of this tablet, it's far apart. So what I do sometimes is to color grade the rock. Now it's a very simple tip that I learned from my mentor, is to use a solid color. So what do I mean by using a solid color? So I use a solid color by going to my effects panel here, so adjustment layer panel, then I go to solid color. So it's under this place, adjustment layer panel, then you go to your solid color, and so most times before selecting the color I press OK, then I clip mask. So then sometimes I now pick a reference color from the rock and I use it. But for this tutorial I already have a color that I used, so I'm going to be calling the color for us. So I used 9D 6E, 50. So this was the color that I used, and I press OK. Now there's no changes that happen, so then you now change the blend mode to color. So with that, when you change the blend mode to color, you see that both the rock and the tablets now has almost the same color, if you are with me. Now the next thing is to create a shadow under this rock, because most times when you want to relate it with realistic stuffs, right? So we create an empty layer under this. You go to your create new layer, which is the plus icon beside the delete button, then you press plus. Then most times using my eyedropper tool. My eyedropper tool is the seventh tool here, the seventh tool on my. Then I pick one of the darkest color. So then I take my brush, reduce the flow a bit, then right click to select the settings. Then I reduce this part to form a shadow kind of feel. Then I brush under. So that way we have the shadow under here. So the next thing to do now is to bring in the next background, which is our overlay light. Now the overlay light was a function of the source of light of our design. So the idea is to use source of light, a rock. So this, if you notice, the background is more like a cave. Yes, so the major part that's coming out of the background is more like a cave, and you see that the source of the light is coming from the right hand side. If you are facing the screen, it's coming from the right hand side. So we need to ensure that the light is also leaking into or onto the tablet, so it will not look like it's a totally different element. So it will not look like it's a totally different element. Then you bring in the light source, which is here, so like so. Then I increase the size, but if I notice I want the light source to come from here, from my right hand and not from my left hand, so what do? I just rotate this horizontally. So what I did was just to right click, then you see flip horizontally, and you click on it. Then I press my enter button. Then I come here, I change my blend mode to screen. Then to reduce the intensity, I use my curve adjustments. So I go here, curves, to bring it down. Then I clip it onto the layer. So this will help me see, this is before, this is the after, and sometimes I still go more down. So this is the before, this is the after. Then using my layer mask, I clean out. Then going back, adjusting the brush. Then I clean out this part. So this is it, and this is it. So you see that we are already almost done. So most of this time, the complex designs are not always that complex. So the next thing I will do is to work on the status, that is the theme of the program, looking like it was engraved inside the text or inside the rock. So this is my PNG format for my text. The font, the name of the font is Go Bold Tall. So you can search online for that. So I'm doing this in order not to waste so much of our time. So that's why I'm trying to finish on time also. So you go to Go Bold, then this is it. So now first thing is to change the color of the text. So what I do is to go to my FX panel here. FX, you say color overlay. So I already have a specific color. Sometimes you just choose the color of the rock or something, but I already have a specified color here, which I'm going to call, so you can use it also. So it's 9A663F. So here is it. Then the next thing we do is to go to our inner shadow. So inner shadow, then you click on inner shadow, make the distance 10, your choke 10, your size 18. So now note, please, it does not work all the time, but for this it's going to work. So just be diverse. So now what we do is I will reduce the text a bit. I reduce it. I can even shrink it so that it can enter into the slot. Then I right click and I choose skew. So you choose skew and you'll be able to make it look like you control the edges to make it look like it was part of the rock. So then I can even reduce the text. I can reduce the text, so like this. So if you are seeing that the text is not showing, we can still change the color a bit so that to have something more nice, or can move higher. Then can also control the opacity of the inner shadow, make it come out more. Maybe like 100 is too much, so more like this, like so. Then we have our theme. So basically that's for it. Then the last thing we applied actually was our lens flare. So this is the lens flare. I'm sorry, I'm just going to pick it from this place. Then here is the lens flare. This is how lens flare comes most times. So then you change the blend mode to screen. Then I put it at the edge here. I also duplicate it using my Ctrl J for duplicating. Then I bring it here. I rotate it to fit the side of the design, and I have that there. So after that, then the picture of the pastor, I think I have explained how that works. If you don't understand how I edited the picture of the pastor, you can check our previous tutorials for how the picture was edited. So here is the picture. So I've explained how I edit my camera using camera raw. Here's the picture of the pastor. Then the next thing is to bring in the spark, which is the last thing. Our spark. Then the spark is always in black, right? So all I did is increase the size, then change it to screen also. Whenever any element has a black background, always make sure you use screen. It works all the time, right? So using my layer mask, I can remove any excess that I don't want. So this is just to create a light kind of feel. Do you get me? Then to create anything I don't want. Then the last thing is to bring in other details. So I already have it here. Then I just bring them into the design, right? And we have a complete design here. So that's just basically it. Now to make the design now pop more, now this is where it gets more advanced. Then I use merge all visible using my Ctrl Shift Alt E to merge all visible. Then I convert to smart objects. Now the reason why we convert to smart objects is so that we can be able to use that particular effect, or we can be able to go back and adjust them. Then I go to my filter, my camera raw filter, and I'm going to explain some things now. So most times I don't touch this exposure highlight. So but I touch my shadow, I can increase them, or I can reduce, but most I increase it. Let's see the white. If I increase the white, the black, you can reduce the black just to create contrast. This is the before, this is the after. So this is the before, this is the after. Then I go for my color. Most times I don't touch it. I can just give it a bit of vibrance. So a bit of vibrance, just very little. So this is the before, this is the after. Then I touch my texture. I increase the texture. I can go as much as 10. That's why you need a very good picture quality. And for my clarity also, I go up, but not so much. Don't go too much, it will be too much. Just something very little. I can still increase my texture a bit. Yeah. So then my vignette, I can reduce it a bit also, just to bring a focal point to the middle of the design. Also then we add grain sometimes to just add depth to the design. Then curve adjustments, we don't touch that most times. So then I use my sharpening. I sharpen the design. So under details, and for color grading, not really. For color mixing, I usually don't touch this, but depending on what you want, you can actually tamper with it. So you can change the overall feel of the design as you like. So but I will still maybe do another tutorial where I explain how you can use this well. So I'm still also, we are all still learning, so still exploring how the color mixer works. So but I will do a tutorial especially on it as time goes on. So I think that's basically what I use here. So I can still just go around it again. Okay, what do I need to increase? I can still increase my texture. I can increase my vignettes, reduce the clarity a bit so that it will not be too much. So reduce the texture also a bit. So I can add a bit of more, reduce the green or add more green. So then I can sharpen or reduce the sharpen a bit. So then we have okay. So here is the before and here is the after. Here is the before and here is the after. So the advantage of doing that is just to make your design pop more and look more good. So this is the overall of how this particular design was achieved using Photoshop. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time we see, don't stop creating.